All right, what's good, guys? It has been a little while since I've done one of these sit down and talk type of videos. And the reason why I'm recording this, yes, I think it'll be beneficial to you guys, but this video is mainly for myself. It's mainly to keep myself accountable. And I actually just got this video idea a few minutes ago because I was thinking about an issue that I have in my trading. And obviously, I'm sure a lot of you have issues in your trading, right? Not everyone watching this is going to be a consistently profitable trader. And I'm sure there's issues that you have and flaws that you'd really like to put to bed. And I think a common misconception is that when you become a consistently profitable trader, that's just it. You don't have any issues anymore. It is just a clear vision to profitability. There's no obstacles, there's no problems, and that is so far from the truth that it's not even funny. And so, as someone who has seen consistent results, I want to share with you guys my process on how I do a deep dive into any issues that I have and how I resolve those issues. And I think that would be a really cool video because I have not seen anyone really do this. So I'm showing you guys my exact framework for this, and I think it'll be really cool. And this is an issue that is a problem with my trading and something that I need to just bury the hatchet with. So that's what this video is. It is full transparency. I'm being completely honest with you guys, but that's kind of what I've preached on my channel from the jump. So yeah, we're gonna go over this right now. So fixing my biggest trading flaw. Step number one, identifying the issue. So what is my biggest trading flaw? My biggest trading flaw is the fact that I get carried away with profits and I end up being very dumb with those profits, mainly blowing evals completely just unnecessary. Okay. Sometimes blowing funded accounts, super unnecessary. But what happens is I will, I trade with relatively heavier size. I'm never just using one or two accounts. I'm using, you know, usually between 7 and 10, somewhere around there. And really, when you get one or two payouts, if you're requesting, let's say 2K per account and you get a couple payouts, I mean, that's $40,000 right there. Okay. And when you make $20,000, $40,000 just from clicking buttons on your screen in the span of a month or two, you can feel a little bit big-headed, right? You're like, wow, like I really just made all this money from sitting here clicking buttons. Like that seems pretty simple. Like I'm the man. The issue with that is, trading is my full-time job, right? Trading is all I do, and the process of trading, it can get pretty boring. Once you get consistent, you understand that trading is not really the most exciting thing on the planet. Like you are doing the same thing every single day, and 95% of the time, you're just sitting there waiting. So trading can get pretty boring. And a problem that I used to have, this was later last year, is I would get payouts, and then with that profit money, I would think of it as I have already secured my ROI times 20 on these accounts. Like I have some leftover money to burn. Why not just full port some evals, try to size up. If I pass them, great. If not, it's not that big of a deal because I've already secured my ROI times a ridiculous amount. And that was a really bad habit I had for a while. I was blowing evals left and right. I mean, there was one period late last year where I blew just a lot of sets of accounts, like a lot. Okay. And in the moment, buying 5 accounts, spending $500 each time, blowing these accounts, it doesn't seem like the end of the world, especially if you're getting these payouts consistently. But I actually looked back at this. This was on Friday. I looked back because I was curious. And I have spent so much unnecessary money on just literally, we're going to call it gambling, because when you take a trade that isn't a logical trade and you're just hoping that it hits, that is gambling. Okay. Trading is not gambling, but purely just not taking logical trades, that is gambling. And when you do that over enough period of time, that adds up. And so I looked at how much I was spending on these evals when I was going through these phases, because it's evident. You can look at the eval, look at the money you've spent. you can see the periods where you've just decided to say fuck it and full port. Some of this was me just having fun and just like deciding to gamble to, I don't know, just have some fun in my life, enjoy the stress rather than go to the casino and do it. Because at least if I win, then I have some more accounts. Some of it was me just being impatient to get on more accounts and spending the time required to get on these more accounts. And just overall, it's borderline ridiculous, you know? And the firms that I trade on a few different prop firms, and the firm that I did this on, I treated Alpha Futures sort of as a gambling firm, right? So I've gotten a few payouts with Alpha Futures, but the thing is, I am not really a huge fan of all of their accounts. You know, I like some other firms a little bit better. I don't really like some of the consistency rules. The ROI isn't as good as some of the other firms. However, now they just released their premium plan, which I really like actually. So, and I'm not associated or affiliated in any way, but I do really like the premium plan. So I am using those now. But before the premium, I just didn't, none of the accounts I really liked. So I just treated them as kind of like burner accounts. I would gamble them if I wanted to. And I ended up, like, when I look back at it, I probably spent probably around 15 grand of just unnecessary, maybe not 15 grand, but maybe closer to 10, but just completely unnecessary eval, like just blowing them for absolutely no reason. Not treating them logically, not taking them seriously, literally just because I was coming off of big months and I was like, fuck it, I got money to blow, let's run it. Just absolutely super, super dumb. The reason I'm making this video right now is because this problem has resurfaced recently, and that is not good, okay? We can't have that. Recently, I tried out a new firm called Tradeify. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with that. And I did the same thing. I had a few big months this year, and I was like, you know what? Like, I really don't spend too much money. Like, sure, I have my apartment, my car, but I'm like, you know what? This money's not doing any good sitting in my bank account. Let's full port some accounts. Let's have some fun. Let's see if we get any results from them. You can imagine how that went. I blew, I don't know, probably like 8 sets of accounts, just completely unnecessary with Tradeify, literally just because I was just full porting these in Asia with no logical sense behind these trades whatsoever. So there's not really a learning lesson that comes from it. Literally just seeing the chart, I'm like, all right, fuck it. This probably goes, boom, full port the account. And that is just, it's not something that is sustainable whatsoever. Like, eventually what happens is that adds up over time, and then you look back on it, kind of like what I'm doing right now, and it's just, you're like, what the fuck? And the problem isn't necessarily even, it's not even necessarily just the money I've spent. You know, I did this, like I said, on Alpha Futures I did it, on Tradeify I did it for a little bit on Lucid. I never really went too far with it on Lucid. But in the moment, like the way I was going to fix it, this was the time last year, is I was like, all right, like obviously like, I need to get rid of this issue. I'm going to go on a live account for a little bit. I'm just going to focus on Top Step. And I did really, really well. Okay. I did really well on a live account. I didn't post about it too much because I wanted to keep that kind of just to me, because I was really taking trading seriously. On Top Step, I did really well, and I took it very, very seriously, and I was able to profit quite a bit from that. But after that problem went away for a while, like I said, this resurfaced recently in the past month, and I did it again with the Tradeify accounts, some Lucid accounts, and just spending way, way, way too much money on these accounts. And so I'm going back and looking at this, and I'm like, holy shit, like my track record looks terrible because I'm just doing these unnecessary things that just don't, like, I don't need to be doing this for any reason whatsoever. This is fucking ridiculous. This is stupid. And the problem isn't even the money that I spent on the evals. The issue is what I could have turned that into if I took it seriously. Because last month, I think in payouts, it wasn't quite 20K. I think I got like $18,500, something like that in payouts, which pretty much makes up for all of that, right? Which is fine. But the issue is, what if I would have taken those evals seriously, taken those funded accounts seriously, and traded them as I professionally would? I would have made a lot more money. I was doing the math. I probably would have doubled my income at least if I had taken all those seriously, was using more accounts properly, And it just looking at that just kind of it hurt my soul a little bit. Because I wouldn't even do this wasn't just evals. Like you gotta understand, if I'm just like gambling the evals, if I get the funded account, I'm gonna do the same thing with the funded account. And never did I get lucky with that and end up hitting for a lot. Like it went to shit every single time I did that. Just because there was no logical sense behind anything I was doing. And I understand, like, with trading being somewhat repetitive, somewhat boring once you get to that consistent stage, like the trigger, we're going to move on to understanding the trigger. The trigger is that I needed to feel some sort of stress in my life, have a little bit of fun, we'll call it. Like I've got a lot of buddies that sports bet, that go to the casino. That's never really been my thing too much. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it with some evals, feel a little bit of a rush or funded accounts. And that's just, it's not good. Like it's actually terrible. And I like to think that psychologically wise, like with my trading, that is one of my strong suits. Because when I truly do take these accounts seriously and I'm like trading my A plus model that I know works time after time after time, when I'm on with my trading game, it is pretty hard for me to blow accounts. And I'm not saying that's never going to happen because obviously it is. With trading, I don't care how high your win rate is, you're going to do the right thing and still blow accounts. Like that's part of the game. Accepting losses, accepting blown accounts by doing the right thing, that is part of trading. So I know that's going to come my way. But I cannot recall a time since turning profitable where I've actually locked in on all my rules, all my habits, done everything the right way, and blew an account. It's never happened. I've gotten a payout every single time when I've taken these accounts seriously. And so looking back on it, like the trigger is simply I'm just looking for some sort of excitement in trading when really that's not what it is. Trading is not super exciting. Where I am versus where I should be, where I am now, don't get me wrong, I live comfortably. I make decent money from trading. I have my apartment, I have my car. I'm very grateful for all these things. I have a Discord, a good community of people. I have students, and that's super, super grateful for that. It's awesome. I love seeing people getting results. I like getting results myself. It's really cool. But where I should be is I should be pretty much double my income, pretty much double, if not more than that. If I was taking all of these accounts seriously, I wasn't blowing unnecessary money, I would, like I said, probably double my income. And that would mean I could probably have some nicer things. I'm not super bougie of a person, but I could have some nicer things. I could maybe go on more vacations, have a little bit more freedom, do some better things for my family. And I try to think about it like that. Like if I was just not a moron when it comes to unnecessarily blowing these accounts, I would have more money to do nicer things for other people. Whenever I think, like, my motivation for making money is never for myself. I just want a car. I don't give a shit about anything else. I want to be able to spoil my family, spoil my friends, a girlfriend if I ever have one. I doubt it. But that's really what I look at. And so I think of it as very selfish if I'm sitting here self-sabotaging my results, which is in turn going to hurt the joy that I can bring to other people. And that is not okay. So even though I'm in a comfortable spot, I should be in a much better spot. I should be able to do more things for the people that I love, the close ones that I have. And yeah, it's just looking at kind of version 1 and version 2, you look at the difference and you're like, wow, like the only difference between where I am now and where I should be is just having those random spurts where I'm sitting there just buying accounts out of spite for no reason and then clicking the buy and sell button for absolutely no reason, which is just not good. Now, I know that with my trading, when I am on point, I already said this, but when I am on point, I don't know how to say this, like, I'm pretty dangerous on the charts. I get really good results, sizing heavy, I get really good payouts. And that's why I did the zero to payout series. If you guys watched that, you saw me take an account from absolutely scratch, following all good habits, good risk management system, everything. And I filmed every single day, executions, the calendar, all of that. And I took that account to multiple payouts, but that was across 10 accounts. And yeah, it's, or maybe it was 8 accounts, something like that. So when I'm on, I'm on. And I was just thinking, if it could be like that every single month, no matter what, no bullshit buying a bunch of unnecessary evals, blowing them for fun. If I did not do that and I just took every account seriously and I truly sized up, I could be making a lot of money from trading. I have been in trading for almost 5 years at this point. I have put in a lot of work, and I know that with the skill set I have, I can make really, really, really good money if my habits are in check. But that's the main thing. That's the big thing. If my habits are in check. That's why I always preach to you guys. Good habits is so much more important than the idea of making money. Okay? Because in turn, if you practice good habits, you apply good habits 24/7 all the time, you are going to get that end result of making money. But the habits are what come first. So, burying the hatchet. I am never doing this again. I am taking every account seriously. I am locked in. I am dialed in. I am not doing any of that shit. I am sticking to the A plus trading system that I know works for me time after time after time again. When I truly apply good habits and I apply my strategy, there I'm getting good payouts, right? And some of my students are also getting good payouts by doing this. I know what I do works, and I want to make sure that that is all that I am doing. I am fully accepting that trading can be boring when you're in that consistent stage, but that is just the job. In order to bury the hatchet, I am going to focus this year completely on sizing up my trading, because I know that if I'm taking everything super seriously, it doesn't matter if I have 5 accounts, 10 accounts, 20 accounts, 40 accounts, if I'm on a live account with 100K in it, whatever it is, if I'm taking it seriously, I'm going to make profits. So why would I not size up? So instead of worrying about gambling and hitting a little bit big, why not just take everything super seriously, size up the amount I'm trading with, and in turn make a lot more money, because it is the exact same thing. So right now I am completely focused on habits. I am dialed. I am looking for A plus setups and A plus setups only. I will be lowering my trade frequency a little bit and only focusing on just these setups that are absolutely screaming at me. I will be live trading more on my Discord so I can show you guys my mindset, the process that I'm going through. And I think I'm very excited to see where my trading is going to go in the next few months, because if I'm truly dialed, it's going to be pretty awesome. And obviously the market is unpredictable, but if I am going into every single day focused on good habits and good habits only, I have zero doubt in my mind that the results will not be way better than they have already been. So I am very excited to take you guys on this journey with me. If you guys have your own issues in trading that you're struggling with, that have been an issue for a long time, try this framework. Go in depth with it. Don't just say, I have FOMO, so I'm going to stop doing it. I got on here. I explained my issue in depth, not just surface level. I explained it in depth, every little thing about it. I'm understanding the trigger of what's going on. I'm looking at where I am now versus where I should be if this issue wasn't a thing. And then you put the issue to bed. That is all you have to do. Okay. And if you do that, I guarantee you that will prevent you from doing it in the future. And you have to remind yourself of this every now and then. You have to remind yourself, like, listen, this issue is gone. It's not something that's going to be in my trading anymore. Trading is it's a psychological battle, and you have to be strong enough and mature enough to understand that and dive deep into the issue and figure it out. So I appreciate you guys letting me vent a little bit. This feels great to get out there and have the conversation with you guys. But as always, I do have the link to join my Discord. That's going to be in the description of this video. If you guys want to see me absolutely dialed and locked into my trading and join me for my scaling up period, now's the time to get in the Discord, because we are going to be very, very dialed in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.